Although edited for television, tonight's thriller contains scenes of suspense and violence which may be unsuitable for young viewers. Parental discretion is advised.
State-of-the-art Japanese animation.
Ohazas, and welcome to the Otaku Host Club podcast, the podcast that is of otaku, for otaku, by otaku. I'm your host, Amelia, and I'm always joined here with Geoff and Dan.
Hello, everyone.
I'm here.
And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the classic film Otaku no Video. Do you guys get my reference for the intro for the
See what you did there.
Yeah. I'm the Ota King. I should have said that.
Geoff's the Ota King.
Oh,
he's in my phone as Geoff Ota King.
Is it really? He's in my phone as Geoff Black Buns.
Huh.
Either are appropriate. I prefer the black buns.
Yes,
Ota
right?
King. There's only one Ota King, and that's Mr. Toshio Okada.
Oh, I was gonna say Tomino. What?
No.
I'm trying to figure out your references.
We'll get into it later.
Okay.
Oh, you can't see my fucking phone. It says Geoff Baltimore Ota King.
I think yours has. I think your name has a bunch of emojis, which are donuts, chocolate.
Oh, that works. Yeah,
a good
that sounds
star.
good. Yeah.
But so we're going to be talking about Otaku no Video later on in the episode. But for right now, I need to know, because me and Geoff are both wearing black hoodies. If you're on the video version, and I want to know where Dan's black hoodie is. Look at this.
In the car. I didn't know I had to wear it. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. At least I got my Sludge and Disclosed Japan tour shirt.
I mean, I feel like guys, we're all like black and white out.
Yeah.
We're really doing it to them as a podcast. We got this,
we're
this aesthetic on lockdown.
Yeah, we're of a similar wavelength.
We need to change our logo so it's black and white.
We might. I'd also like to preface this podcast with I've had 3 beers and a shot of peanut butter whiskey. So we're getting into it tonight.
Well, I had a bright orange Sete Star Sept sweater on, but then I dripped barbecue all over it, so I took it off. I'm really irritated to drip barbecue all over my sweater and pants, seeing as I'm traveling and I don't I can't just put these in the wash so easily. B, I don't have that many spare sets of clothes.
Yes, we are recording on a Friday night, which is super weird for all of us.
It is very odd.
Because we normally record on Sundays, but me and Dan have been out of town for a little bit. So we're squeezing it in.
I was in Milwaukee for a bit. Now I'm in Indianapolis on a little road trip to visit Anna's friends. You were at a wedding.
Yeah, my sister had a friend that she went to hair school with who got married at this wedding this weekend. And we rented a Tesla.
Wow, cool.
Speed demon.
Oh my God. Can I just go off about Teslas real quick? Because they're so fucking fun to drive. Oh my God. Yeah. So the way the Tesla works is there's a brake pedal and an accelerator pedal, and it's an accelerator pedal because there's no gas, because you don't need gas to power this vehicle. So when you press on the accelerator pedal, the car goes, but if you let off the accelerator, the car automatically brakes. So it's a little bit of a different kind of like driving experience. It goes from 0 to 60 in like 5 seconds.
It's like driving a Mobile Suit Gundam, maybe, or a Valkyrie.
I feel like if I could imagine what driving a Gundam would be like, I feel like that would be a Tesla.
So when you say that pressing the accelerator, it's automatically braking.
Yes.
Does that make it more difficult to coast? Because I'm used to thinking that when I'm driving, I do a reasonable amount of coasting along.
Oh,
and there's like it naturally slows down, but it's not like it's braking. It's just that it's not speeding up, therefore like it's losing inertia.
I feel
like
it
slows down.
I feel like your pedal
is
either like, no, because the Tesla doesn't do that. Because as soon as you let off the accelerator, it's done. So you're braking, but like, and it's like it's a lot more of a thing when you're going slower distant, like a slower like mile per hour, because like you're going slower already. So like the braking system like brakes harder. So when you're going really fast, it's not as like fast at braking because it has to like, slow the entire car down. But so like coasting is more of like I'm only pushing the pedal a little bit right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And no gas. You don't have to pay for gas. You just have to charge the shit. And I watched okay, here we go. I watched Comey Can't Communicate. I watched the first episode while I was charging over the weekend, and I am very excited for this anime.
It took you a full episode to charge the car.
Yeah, well, I mean, I drained the battery down to like 20%. And then I charged it up to full, so like about 40 minutes at the supercharger at the Wawa.
Right. Interesting.
So, I watched Comey Can't Communicate, and it was freaking amazing. And I had some Cheez-Its and a body armor strawberry banana like a Gatorade situation,
a body armor strawberry and banana Gatorade.
Yeah, it's like Gatorade but like with coconut water instead of like regular Gatorade situation. It's
sink water.
It's delicious. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, go to Wawa and grab yourself a strawberry banana body armor Gatorade situation. Because they are so good.
Don't go to Walmart and spend 30 minutes in line.
No.
Like what happened to me when I got body armor when I was sickly.
Huh.
Dang, it took you half an hour to get some body armor?
Yeah.
The drink is called The drink is called body armor?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Gatorade drink.
It's like a Gatorade type of drink. It's like a sports drink.
That's okay, so it's not Gatorade subtext body armor.
No, it's made out of coconut.
Body armor.
It's called body armor instead of being like sugar like Gatorade is. It's made out of coconut water.
That's disgusting.
It's amazing, actually, though. It's so good.
It probably is. I'm just being facetious. I don't like coconut water.
It's so good. So then I watched Comey. Comey is like literally the cutest anime that I've seen all season. She is so shy, and it just like breaks my heart that she has such social anxiety, because so the whole first episode is basically her and the main character Takada like communicating via like writing on the chalkboard at each other while they're in the same room. And it's so fucking cute because like she can't really express herself the way she wants to, like outwardly towards him, unless it's writing through the chalkboard. But then as soon as she gets to like write on this chalkboard, she's just like, it's just like, oh, but she like cannot stop like writing on this chalkboard, and it's so cute. And they are connecting over their writing on the chalkboard, and it's so cute. But I am kind of concerned though, because Comey, the whole thing about Comey is she wants to make 100 friends when she is in high school. So she's in high school now, and she's like, Takada, can you help me make 100 friends while I'm here? And he's like, I'm going to help you make 100 friends. And she has such social anxiety that like I don't know how he's going to help her make 100 friends. And I'm kind of worried about like what the end of the series kind of will be, because they can't keep her like super socially awkward for too long, because normal people as they as they socially interact with other people, they learn social skills, and then they like come out of their shell a little bit, and like, you know, like you learn things as you interact with more people, and it gets less scary and less like daunting of a task. So I want to know like what's going to happen by the end of the season or the series or whatever, with how well she can communicate with like other people.
It's just the end of a silent voice. That's what it's going to be. Going to be a bunch of X's on people's faces, and they're going to fall off, and then everyone's going to be happy, live happy ever after.
Yeah, but like I'm like I was watching this, and like normally her kind of character that like can't come out of their shell very easily is a character that like I'm super like unattracted to. For whatever reason in anime, I don't like that. Like, girl, at some point you got to come out of your shell, because I've watched you for like 5 episodes now coming out of your shell with this one person that like helps you come out of your shell. So like, where's your butterfly moment, you know what I mean? But I'm really enjoying it. I really love it. She's so cute.
I like her bangs. The character design, it's like really awkward, but I grew on me. I'm like, why are your bangs so defined and
I know,
like voluptuous?
The character design of this manga / anime, like I just don't like it. But I'm overlooking that because I really like the story.
And that's on Netflix. They've already on episode 5.
Yeah, so I don't think they're on
Netflix.
So they're releasing these weekly on Netflix Japan. So I think in Netflix Japan they're on episode 5, but we've only gotten like the first or the second episode at the point of recording this / when this like airs. So I think we've only got 1 or 2 episodes, because I was all like, in the Discord, I was all like, how are people watching Komi? Because it hasn't even aired on Netflix yet here. So I don't understand. But so this is also an anime that is airing weekly in the US as well. But I think it is airing like a couple weeks behind the Japanese release.
It's airing on American Netflix.
Yes, weekly, which is crazy. Because
is this the first weekly release for Netflix?
Yes. So this is the first weekly release, as well as Blue Period, which is another anime that is on Netflix that is also airing weekly this season, which is about a cute boy finding his love for art and painting and trying to get into Tokyo University for an art degree.
Yeah, this is on my radar too. I was getting what's that?
Flashbacks. Is that what you were getting? Because,
fuck no.
Because it is literally the slice of pie out of our college years, Jeffrey.
I was thinking, what's the I'm thinking of like Honey and Clover is a show. It takes place in a school art setting, and there's like a love relationship between the 2 main characters.
Yeah.
Which we did watch in art school, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bit ironic.
So he is going to art school. Well, he's going to art club in high school, and they're doing crits. And he always gets really nice crits, even though he's like not really that great of an artist at this moment. But because he's like trying really hard and the teacher can see his potential, he gets like really good crits. And I'm just like watching this anime like, what the fuck, my dude? If I turned in anything like that, my teachers would not have given me the same crit. Like, it's making me very angry.
So is there like a realistic representation of your experience?
Like it kind of is. It kind of is. Because like I went into art school not having really any kind of like artistic background. Like I took photography classes and like graphic design classes in high school, like as much as like a rural high school can like offer someone like that, you know? So I didn't like, when I came into college, I didn't really have an art background. I only did like weird, like our French class, like the social, like the, what are those called? The language studies classes had like an art contest at my high school to make a poster for that specific language. And everybody in the class would make whatever poster they wanted for whatever language they wanted. And the school would vote on which like poster the students would make. They would vote on which one they liked the most, and mine got picked. So I had to recreate my like poster for my language studies class, like on a big giant like wood board, so that they could hang it up in the language studies area. So like that's like as much notoriety as I had in high school. Like I just made a very large French poster that said "Welcome to France" and had a bunch of French things in it. So like going into college, like I didn't have I didn't have that much experience like doing art or like thinking about art. So like to watch this character kind of like experience the same things that I was going through like in college, like is kind of cool and also infuriating, because he's like trying really hard and I see where like he's trying really hard, but he gets really good crits and I never got good crits, and I'm so upset about it.
So crits are critiques?
Yeah, they're like so for like your homework or whatever for art college, you would put your piece, your little project up on like the wall, and then in class you would go through and critique everybody's piece of art down the line.
So everybody would stand around and be like,
your fucking art sucks, my dude.
It's like Project Runway or like Great British Break Off or whatever.
Oh yeah. And it was that was like the scariest thing I feel like I've ever gone through, is going through crits in art school. Because you think like, I'm doing the best that I can. I've done the best work that I can. But then like other students or even like your teacher will be like, man, why'd you make that decision? Like, I don't know where I made it. I thought it was cool. It's not cool? Okay, noted. Let me cower in fear and run back to my corner.
That's how I imagine music school being, if that's the decision that I had gone with, instead of art, the visual art. Like, man, there's got to be a lot of bad music being produced.
Yeah, totally.
In colleges.
Gotta be.
Oh man, would you have gone to Peabody?
I have no idea.
Ooh.
No idea, but after the fact, if I could reverse time, I might just choose that.
Maybe if you could remake your life.
Oh.
You see what I did there? I'm on fire with 3 beers.
Sounds like we need to do a review of this show when it's done. Blue period. The blue period.
I'd be down. There's a crosser. Oh my god, a crosser. There is a character that cross dresses, and I don't know if they're trans or whatever, but because the anime says that they are a cross dresser, but it's like a nice, like, cool slice of like art school life. I feel like the characters are out there and they're exploring themselves and their artistic abilities, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know what I watched this week?
Bitch, what'd you watch?
It was not an anime.
Shit.
But it was a theatrical movie that we saw on IMAX.
Damn.
Any guesses?
Hold on.
Oh.
Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire.
That's literally the only IMAX movie I've seen. It's the one about Africa, and it has the lions that eat everything.
Well, are you thinking of what is it called?
It's called Ring of Fire, Dan.
Okay, well, there's another movie about man-eating lions in Africa. It's called The Ghost in the Darkness. I think that's what it's called. It's the two lions that killed like multiple hundred people just for sport. Like they didn't eat them. They would just like
no, that's not what I was talking about.
Put all the skeletons in a cave. And these lions are actually stuffed at a museum in Chicago.
No, I was talking about Ring of Fire, like like the educational film about the hierarchy of the animal kingdom in Africa.
Oh, okay.
That you see at maybe the Maryland Science Center.
Right.
When you go in elementary and middle school. Or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that too. You see that in IMAX too.
I think Dune has surpassed both these films. But
wait, you saw Dune?
I haven't seen one of them.
You saw the new Dune? In IMAX?
Yeah, it was delicious.
Oh my god, really?
It was spectacular. I highly recommend it. Do not watch it on HBO on your TV. Go out of your house, spend the money.
Yeah. So, have you read the books? Were you reading the books, Geoff?
I read the first book like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's perfect then. So,
so he has a biased opinion.
No. He's got a better informed opinion that I'm genuinely curious.
Okay.
So I want to know, without going into detail that spoils this at all.
Don't spoil it. Don't you dare spoil it.
I'm curious how the book or how the movie compares to the book as an adaptation, and whether it works better as an adaptation than the original Dune movie that everybody seems to hate.
I think this newest movie is a better adaptation. It is more true to the content of the book. And not only because of the visual effects, like they're able to really capture, like back in 84 or something like that, when the original Dune came out, they didn't have the tech, and I think it kind of suffers for that, even though a lot of people really like that aesthetic. Yeah, I think it really captured. The way I imagine things in the novel are in some ways exactly the way I imagine them in how they are portrayed in the movie.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I think I really said it, like if I hadn't read the novel at all and I just went in watching it, I think you would enjoy it. I think like they do a good job of setting up the story so it's not too laborious and like boring,
Right.
Because I think
I think I understand that they're going to make this a trilogy to cover the first book.
Just two films.
Just two films. Oh, okay.
From what I know, and they just greenlit the second movie as of this week.
Okay. Word.
Yeah, I think I don't know. The acting was really good. You guys got Chalamet in it for all you Chalamet fans. Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, he's all right. I think the main draw is Jessica, his mom. Whoever plays her is really good. Really, really great score. Like for a 2.5 hour movie, it felt like I was in the theater for like an hour and a half. I was ready for more.
Yeah, okay. Pretty cool.
I know nothing about Dune, but I wanted to see the new movie.
Yeah, I really want to see the new movie. I also only know the kind of bare minimum of the premise of Dune. I saw the original movie. I've intended to read the books, but just haven't gotten around to it. But I'm anxious to see a movie adaptation that gets positive fan response and kind of broad agreement that like, oh, this is a good adaptation. The same way Lord of the Rings adaptation got like a broad positive response. Like this is a good adaptation, of the books. Yeah.
This is the next version of that, I think. Like that era. This is the new Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very cool. I also watched a live action thing this week, but I guess we won't go too far into it because we're going to do an episode on it. I finished watching Squid Game.
Bitch, yes. Don't spoil anything for anyone, because our next episode, if you were wondering, is going to be Squid Game versus Kaiji.
Yeah, I started rewatching Kaiji too.
I'm so excited to watch Kaiji. It's not even funny.
I know.
Funny. This just gives me an excuse. We should do a JoJo's episode too, so I can like have an excuse to watch JoJo's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life is your excuse.
Life only took me to 14 episodes in. I need the podcast to fuel my fire.
Yeah. You want to be the Oda queen.
Oh,
you need to watch JoJo's.
I do want to be the Oda queen.
You gotta watch JoJo's so you can fully appreciate that meme of like Zoro standing there all bloody and battered and like gored up, and then it's like captioned like JoJo's characters after they do battle with someone whose stand power is to turn water into salted water when they tell a lie. It's like, it's so true. So true.
Well, my plan was to watch JoJo's, and then we could get everyone who loves JoJo's on our podcast to talk about JoJo's.
Yeah, I agree. Well, maybe what we should really do is try to do a group episode with everybody and do top 3 fights in JoJo's.
Oh, okay. That would be cool. I would enjoy that. For reals. Get at us.
Like a
brackets? Join the Discord.
Yeah, maybe like a brackets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. Yeah, brackets isn't bad if we can come to like a conclusion of like what is the best JoJo's fight. But
did you guys both just rub your chin at the same time?
Yeah, our brains are
bracket brains. I need a goatee or beard to do that with. I got a mustache, but you know.
Yeah, I was thinking more everybody just brings their top 3 and we discuss, but brackets is not bad either, because then we can decide what is the ultimate JoJo's fight, and that will be what we should really do actually.
Oh, what should we do?
This is a good idea, actually.
Tell us, yeah.
We do the brackets to find the best JoJo's fight. Then we get Amelia to watch the part with the best JoJo's fight, and we do an episode on that part.
Damn. Okay. Shit, bitch. Yes.
I thought you were gonna say I'm watch ready. Each battle in real time.
Oh, that's not bad either.
And then we go, oh, that's the best one.
Oh,
it might be a long ass episode.
Yeah.
All of our episodes are long ass episodes.
It'll be a 3-parter.
So get at us if you want to be a part of this JoJo marathon. All right, you want to get into the real topic of this episode?
Yes, but we have to preface this with it's almost Halloween.
Spooky.
3 days. We did not choose a spooky show.
No, we really did kind of drop the ball in the spooky month this month, but I'm okay with it. Everybody else, go do your spooky things. I'm gonna chill here.
Yeah, that's all good.
I'll do my real life spooky things.
We did spooky stuff last year.
Yeah, go listen to our Ito Jinji podcast episode.
Yes, and we also did an Ito Jinji episode with Otaku Melancholy, so go check that one out as well.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing on Halloween? Is there anything exciting happening back home?
Well, I may or may not be handing out candy with my sister at my dad's house, at my childhood house, or I might be going to Field of Screams, go, haunted house style.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, or maybe we'll go to Fells Point and have some brewskis.
Not bad.
Brewskis. My plans are in development.
Fair.
Yeah, I may or may not dress up as 02 because I haven't pulled that one out for a while. So
that'd be cool.
No.
That's a good outfit.
Or I have a schoolgirl outfit that is from Kantai collection. So I could just throw some blood on it and pretend I'm the girl from Battle Royale. There we go.
Not bad.
Wham bam.
Hey.
Wham bam.
Battle Royale.
Or I could just go as Jahi like I did at Otakon because I was so fucking cute. Nobody will know who I am, but I'll be dressed up as something.
You Sailor Moon?
What are your plans, Dan?
Oh, Hannah and I are driving from Indianapolis to Minneapolis.
Oh, sweet. That sounds sick, bro.
Halloween.
That sounds like some sick plans for Halloween.
Yeah.
You gotta drive around with Michael Myers' mask.
Yeah.
Like stare at people next to you in the car.
I was driving down the road in Virginia, and I was trying to switch lanes, and this like fancy muscle car was pulling up next to me, so I couldn't switch lanes. And I went to like look over to see like if I was clear, and I wasn't. But instead, I saw Chucky out of his passenger side window. I was like,
no shit.
It threw me so off guard. I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was like somebody sitting up with like a Chucky doll in there.
It's cool.
And I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. I'll let you go.
I don't fuck with Chucky. Mm-mm.
Geoff does not like dolls.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I never saw any of the Chucky movies.
What? They're so good.
Yeah, they're legends for sure. Yeah. Classics. Yeah. I just don't watch that many movies.
Like scary or like general?
Well, in general, who's got 2-3 hours in their day to watch a movie?
Literally everyone.
I do.
Yeah, like literally everyone. What do you mean?
Well, I
want to know how. Okay, so if you just added up all of the times that you watch anime throughout the day, it would add up to a movie.
It's true. The difference is that I watch them non-sequentially.
Okay.
So rather than having 2 hours, I have 3 half-hour chunks throughout the day.
Is your dog okay, Dan? Is your dog okay?
Yeah, he's enjoying himself. He's just rolling around on the ground.
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah.
I thought I might need an update.
Yeah, he's just chilling, man. He's
so cute. Hello. He's so cute. Oh my God, this is so cute. That's what I heard.
What that sound is. I thought heard. I thought Dan was like smacking his legs.
He said,
Sam,
do it again.
Sam, roll around some more.
What's his name?
Sam.
Oh, that's so cute. Sammy.
Sam.
I've already have nicknames for this dog I've never met.
He's a good boy.
You're a good boy, Sam. Okay, anyway. Otaku no video.
Otaku no video.
So the reason we chose to do Otaku no video over a Halloween episode is because it's Otaku no video 30-year anniversary.
It's been 30 years.
30 years. Oh my God. That's like as old as us, guys.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is. Oh, go ahead, Geoff.
No, do we feel as old as content in this video?
No.
That's a weird question. All right, what were we gonna say, Dan?
So this is not any of our first time watching Otaku no video.
No, of course not. They played every year at Otakon on repeat.
They do.
It's the last thing they play at Otakon every year, so we've seen
first and last.
First and last. Okay.
First and last.
First too, because we've only seen it as the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we've all ended our Otakon experiences with Otaku no video at various points, so we've seen it a few times. And it's a good watch. I enjoy it, and I like I like these kinds of business stories, just because I like people with I like watching characters with vision go and persevere and actualize, fully realize their visions. I find that a rewarding journey to watch. So I like Otaku no video in general. I am not totally clear how mean, some parts of it, there's no way that shit's real.
It's not real. It's like, I'm just gonna preface this at this point. So
Otaku no Video was like kind of real.
So it's spliced between like animation and real life quote unquote real life interviews of people who have been otaku for however long they've been otakus for. However, I don't know if you could tell this in the first episode of Otaku no Video, but these are clearly set up interviews.
Yeah.
I did not believe that. The first time I saw the interviews, I thought they were real.
Oh, same.
And I was like, man, these people are like hardcore.
Yeah, same. These people, like the one missionary man who was like staying in a bed bunk with other people, like somewhere. It's like, yeah, I love anime. And then I was like, I need to preach the gospel. I was like, wow, these people are crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's when I was like, this does not match the subtitles aren't matching what this guy is saying, speaking in English. And I'm like, this is a little off.
And you can hear that he's just saying whatever the background noise is. That's what he's saying. That's him talking.
Yeah. Maybe I watched this when I was too old, but I never took these for being real interviews.
No.
But I thought the business story was kind of like half true, half.
Yeah, this is based around Gainax's formation.
Yeah. So this is basically Gainax's story, right?
Yeah, and to put this into perspective, when Otaku no Video came out in 1991, at that time, Gainax had produced a couple of OVAs. Gunbuster would have done pretty well for them. Which is great, and everybody should go watch Gunbuster #1. Yeah. Royal Space Force would have been their big kind of what Gunbuster and Royal Space Force, The Wings of Hornemes, would have been the two, that movie, and would have been the two big things that they're known for at that point. And they would have been in the process of having, or I guess they had just recently they were in the process of having their TV debut with Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water.
So they're doing pretty good.
Nadia's pretty good too.
Yeah, Nadia's good. Yeah. So, but this is to say that Gainax was, when Otaku no Video came out, Gainax was not a household name. They were not a established name. They were still a relatively new and underdog production studio.
Yeah, and during this time, OVAs were like king. You know what I mean? Like they were the Ota king. Yeah, the TV, like there was only like, I don't know, 15, 20 different shows coming out during this time in 91. But then you got like, Bubblegum Crisis and 3 by 3 Eyes, Legend of Galactic Heroes was coming out on cassette tape, and I was gonna say vinyl, Laserdisc.
Laserdisc, yeah.
I have 3 by 3 Eyes on VHS.
Oh, that's cool.
The whole set.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so to watch Otaku no Video would lead you to believe that they came up with the idea of OVAs, but that's not really true, is it?
No, I think it was just the type of media that was made at the time.
Yeah, Gunbuster was, I think, the first big commercial success with selling just like a large amount of well, you know what, Tenchi Muyo, actually, I take it back, had, I think, more success
as OVAs goes, rather than a success for Gainax specifically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the fandom was OVAs at that time. The market was only like video release.
Yeah, because they were not showing anime on television in the same way, because there's a perception that it was too niche and it didn't have enough market, enough audience to be worth broadcast television? Is that the idea here?
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball was huge at the moment at this time,
right? Because OVAs are kind of a lost idea at this point, or like they're pretty rare.
Yeah, I feel like now the only time you're going to get an OVA is if there is a Blu-ray release and they add on an extra, episode or two because they wanted to animate that part.
Yeah, or if it's like the Christmas special that comes as an extra DVD on volume 50, anniversary volume 50 of this manga. Like,
yeah, they like to release OVAs with like manga releases. Yeah.
Yeah. So what has changed to put OVAs into this little, like, what has shifted the market away from OVAs? Is it really just as easy as everything's streaming now, so there's no reason for OVAs because the cost of streaming, the barrier to streaming is so low that we can stream literally anything, and it's just easier than making OVA, than releasing it on DVD?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Physical media versus digital.
I think the only time you're going to get like an OVA these days is if there is a market for selling the manga, and then they're going to bundle like Kobayashi, I think, is coming out with a couple OVA episodes that are bundled with like the manga or the Blu-ray release. So if there's a market for people to want to purchase something physical, then I think they're going to reward you with an OVA episode. But other than that, I think streaming has really like capped OVAs.
Attack on Titan has some OVAs too, right?
Do they?
Yeah. So they've got, well, they got the Levi backstory OVA.
Okay.
They got some OVA about Annie and Mikasa, which I didn't watch. I forget what exactly it's called. They have a couple standalone OVA episodes, one of which came out in between season 1 and season 2 and features a talking Titan and has like huge, not spoilers, but foreshadowing, huge foreshadowing for season 2. Yeah, and I don't know, like those are not streaming on Crunchyroll or anything like that. Like I had to watch them off, like go anime pixel.in or whatever, but they're out there. Yeah, and I think they were released with light novels and with manga. And yeah, as we talk about this, like, could they please just tack those on to like give them a real DVD release in America? Because I want to rewatch the Levi backstory, on DVD. I want to rewatch the giant foreshadowing OVA with the talking Titan. Yeah.
I think that's the disconnect, is that there's not enough demand over here to warrant releasing them on DVD separately for the US. You know what I mean?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know if people like, I know there are obviously going to be fans of whatever series and they're going to collect anything that is produced, but it's hard when you're in a different country and you want the specific product that they're not making here, and there's no company that is like producing that for you.
I do what they did with the Pat Labor series movies. They packaged it with that OVA those OVA shorts, the mini Pato DVD. Like just throw the extras on there as the OVA.
Yeah. So as we talk about demand for OVAs in the US, it's interesting to think that one of the most popular anime in the US is an OVA, Furikuri. And that was broadcast on television here in the US. but that was that's a pretty obscure OVA in Japan. Most of my Japanese friends are not familiar with Furi Furi.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, and it's interesting that because that really speaks to the power of distribution and the meaning of distribution, that like because this was aired on television in the US, it became it's kind of a beginner's anime show for Americans. But in Japan, this was a like another Gainax OVA. They put one episode per DVD at full price, so it's 6 released only on video, 6 DVDs. Each one is like $50 or $60. And people just like, unless you're a really hardcore anime fan and a really hardcore Gainax fan, like you're not watching that, you're not buying that, not even exposed to it really. So it just sails under the radar for most people.
Yeah. And I guess the question is this a good thing or bad thing for the market? Like oversaturating, like, you can kind of like, I think about music, like you got so many choices on Spotify. You can listen to like 20 different genres at once, or not at once, but in a row. So, but then it's like, because then you get music that you wouldn't normally hear from countries that you're never going to visit or probably never going to visit. You know what I mean? But I guess, like the negative end of that is that it loses its value or like its integrity a bit.
Yeah, well, I think we've talked about this, that it loses its cultural relevance insofar, and we see this in anime, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, where like we talked about this in our panel as well, that like if you're getting into anime in the 2000s, there's only so much anime available to you. So like everybody's seen Cowboy Bebop, everybody's seen Trigun, because that's what is available to us, because that's what's distributed here and easy to find. But in a world of constant streaming where everything is available at all times on all mediums, on all platforms, there's rarely a singular show or a singular franchise that everybody flocks to, that everyone revolves around. And even stuff like My Hero Academia, it's just so popular now, but still like many people are not watching My Hero Academia, and because there's so many choices. Like if you're not inherently a superhero person, then you're just going to go watch something else.
So how do we so like let's focus that back to the Otaku no Video OVAs, because that's a huge part of the culture in this show, and during the 90s specifically, of like having circles which are like your friends, or like a small club of your friends, and each person has a specific hobby or interest they're like super focused on. And for the uninitiated, otaku just means you're home, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, these people like rent out full apartments to keep their collections in, so that they're not keeping their collections at their regular homes, and that there's a place that they can visit on a regular basis where people that they know and know that love the things that they love congregate and love the same things that they do, and they can converse and have discussions and stay up late and have drinks and get wild with your little otaku friends. It's really cute.
Yeah, there's sort of like this not tribal mentality, but like that the culture of that day is like tribal in a way. Like you are part of this subculture, and it's like I don't know, it's you're kind of an outcast, at least in Japan, and like nowadays it's sort of the opposite. You want people to know that you're quote unquote otaku, or whatever word you want to use now. And I don't know.
Well, I guess from my perspective, I don't know it's as much as you want people to know, as much as like you're comfortable with your passions in life. And that was something that really, that was a big takeaway for me when I watched Otaku video this time, was just the amount of shame that all these people had about their hobbies, and the way that all the people around them really judged them quite harshly for having these like nerdy hobbies. And that has, I mean, just popular culture in general has migrated so far and away from that in the US. Now we can talk about any number of nerdy subjects with just random people on the street, and nobody will think less of you for this. And even if you're like really into it, people like don't feel like, oh, like this guy like is such a freak for watching more anime than just My Hero Academia. It's like, no, like people are like totally respectful of your interests, or at least this has been my experience navigating, kind of my daily life, that like whether people watch anime or not, the vast majority of people are like, oh, that's cool that you're like into anime or cartoons or whatever, and like maybe they've watched a couple and we can talk about that, but they're not like, wow, you really like, man, I've seen a few, but you've seen way too many, my guy. Like, that's so fucking weird.
Do you guys ever feel like that? Like, do you feel like you've know too much about a subculture to where like you're kind of like alienating other people?
Yes, I feel that way about punk.
Okay.
I feel that way about punk, honestly.
I feel like
rather it's more like I feel alienated from punk for having too much
knowledge, right?
Yeah, for thinking about it too much and too hard for too long, and like I'm no longer interested in discussing punk with the majority of people. Like, I can't just have a casual conversation about it.
I feel like people feel the same way about me. Like, I'll be like, people will ask me like, oh, like what anime is new and coming out, and like I'll tell them, but then like I always feel like that's the end of the conversation, because I already talk too much about anime and I know too much about anime, so there's no possible way I could even tell you what is coming out and what's new and what's popular, because you're not even going to know anyway, and that's where the conversation ends.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody at work about this. They were like referencing basically, man, what was it? It was something parallel to anime, and I said something along the lines of, yeah, I feel the same way about anime. Like when you ask somebody, well, what anime have you seen? Do you like anime? They're like, yeah, I like anime. They're like, oh yeah, what do you like? And it's just like the same 3 anime, like Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z. Trigun's really cool. And then it just like ends there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah. And like you never elaborate on that, maybe the depth of like, not necessarily what I want to talk about, because like you could have a whole hour-long conversation about Dragon Ball Z or Trigun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just engage with people where they're at. Just talk to them about Trigun.
Yeah, that's so funny that you bring that up, because there's this one time at work, I was like running a press with someone, and they were like, oh yeah, like you like anime, like what's like your favorite anime? And I was just like, okay. So in my head I'm thinking, well, I could name off like a bunch of like generic anime that I know this person probably has seen, and we could start a conversation about it. But at the point in time, I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't care. Like, I was like, I'm going to tell him like my actual favorite anime, which is the Monogatari series. And I was like, yeah, I really love the Monogatari series. And he was like, oh, I've seen that. And I was like, what? You've seen that?
Threw you off.
Now, like, my psyche? Ew.
Yeah, now he's like this fucking sex-addled freak.
Yeah.
This dirtball, low-life scum, trash drama. Fuck.
Basically, I'm like, I like the most harem anime. Yay.
Degenerate. I also give honest answers to earnest questions, regardless of how much that is or is not a conversation maker,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think it's better that way. And you can certainly like, even if you're like, oh, my favorite anime is Monogatari series, and this person's like, I had never heard of that, you know, it can be like, well, you know, it's like similar to Tenchi Muyo. Ever see that? You know, I don't know. Like there's ways you can keep it flowing forward.
Yeah, so the person asked me, we were talking about Dune, actually. That's what I remember now. And it was about science fiction. And this person's like really into science fiction and fantasy. And she hated that, like, that people were giving her shit for not reading Dune. And you know, she started talking about other science fiction, hard sci-fi literature, and I didn't know what she was talking about. And that's when I was like, yeah, this is how I feel about when people talk about anime with me.
You're like, okay, you mentioned like 8 things I'm not familiar with, and I'm done with this conversation. Thank you so much for your time.
The trick to all conversation is always to just get the other person talking, you know. That's what it's all about.
Dan's real good at that.
I try to be. Well, I've read this book. My dad had me read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, when I was in elementary school.
Damn,
and that was
starting out young.
He had me read a lot of like I don't know, growing up type books like that when I was young. But that was the number one key lesson of this book. If you took away anything from this book, you know, I mean, it's a whole book, but the only thing I really remember about it 25 years later is most people just want to talk preferably about themselves. And if you just ask some good leading questions and get some follow-up questions in there based on how they respond, they'll just keep on talking, and they will walk away feeling like, well, that was a great conversation. And I really enjoyed my time with this guy. That was really fucking fun, you know? Because most people just want to be heard. They want to be heard. They want to be validated. That's why we have therapists too.
That's me every time I leave this podcast.
Yeah, and you know, my friends know as well as anyone that, like, man, it's true for me too. I also like to talk about myself, and I do it all the time. I try to get my friends to talk about themselves in equal turn. Sometimes I'm better at that than at other times.
You're a Gemini, so you know what the best thing we are at is talking about ourselves.
Yeah, so is I wonder, yeah, like, so we're talking about this. How does this relate to the Otaku no Video group? You know, like seriously.
We see a little bit of this. So to tie this in real concretely, we see this a little bit with our main character and his square ass girlfriend. You know, because his kind of normie girlfriend.
Yeah, fucking normie ass girlfriend. Ew, get out of here.
We watch their relationship kind of deteriorate as the first OVA goes on. So the first episode goes on, where, like, you know, at first they're talking about their daily lives and tennis and whatnot, and then as he continues his journey of otakuism, his answers, you know, their conversations and his participation in these conversations, you know, he like kind of just starts trailing and rambling about anime stuff, and just kind of like and she's just kind of horrified and doesn't really participate in these conversations. And I kind of feel I'm kind of two minds about this, because on the one hand, I feel like, well, he could make some effort to be a little bit more inclusive and like reciprocating in these conversations rather than just like prattling off about whatever, you know, like hyper focused details. But on the other hand, she could show some interest in his passions. I mean, he's clearly fucking into it.
I mean, this is a two-way street, baby. Love is a two-way street. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that, like, you know, one of the great things, and, you know, having passions is one of the best parts about life, you know, and to see somebody talk about their passion and share their passion, you know, that's a great thing. That's a great moment. So I was kind of like, she should like make a little effort to get into it too, or like ask some, you know, some questions. Not that she needs to like, you know, go read all these books and watch all these DVDs, as we see, or, you know, our main character kind of gets hazed by his newfound otaku circle, you know, they just load them up with all sorts of things like, oh, if you're gonna hang with us, you got to watch these like 24 DVDs and read these 36 books and shit.
Let's talk about that scene. Because when Kubo is introduced to Tanaka's circle, there's a dude on the ground, and he's passed out because he spent all night watching anime. And I was like, you know who that is? That's Dan right there.
That's Dan.
That is our Dan.
That is Dan. Dan will stay up till like 4 a.m. watching anime or any other media that he is very interested in until it is finished.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on a roll, you know, there's only so many times in your life where the momentum is on your side and like you're just really feeling it to such a degree. You got to take advantage of those moments when they come to you.
There you go. You know? Take advantage of those moments, everyone.
Like, so for me, a good example of that was watching Space Brothers, and the sequence of
Space Brothers is like an hour and a half long movie. What do you mean?
No, Space Brothers is like a 75 some episode TV show.
Oh, okay, never mind. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. I was thinking about.
Yeah. So the sequence of episodes where the one brother has an accident on the moon and he's trying to survive and find the oxygen tank.
I was thinking of Spaceballs. My bad.
Spaceball.
Pretty different. Yeah, pretty different. But yeah, that sequence of episodes where our protagonist is trying to survive on the moon. I mean, I just was like, I ain't doing work today. I am canceling out of the gym. I ain't doing anything but watching however long this story arc takes. I'm watching it right now because this shit is like, it's hitting me so hard. And whatever I was doing with my day, I'm sure I can just do it tomorrow. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and watch all this. Yeah, it was a great moment in time. Yeah, and I was really feeling it, man. By the time, dude, that scene where like he's like asphyxiating and the oxygen tank finally rolls up and he sees the hallucination of his old senpai, you know, strolling across the moon to come save him. I was crying, man. It hit hard.
It's also worth mentioning that the people in this anime / movie are not the real life interviews, but the animated version are all in college, kind of like in their formative years, kind of like trying to develop who they are as people and like who they're going to associate with going forward, which I feel like kind of plays a part in, you know, my life as an otaku, because I didn't really know about anime too much. Like I knew about it a little bit before I went to college, but college is where like I really like discovered things, and I watched a bunch of things.
Me too.
And like also part of that's because of Geoff. Like I didn't really watch too much anime before I went to like anime club, you know what I mean? Before I was like hanging out with you and we would watch anime, you know, in our downtime.
Yes. No, I mean, this OVA is pretty formative for me because when I was reading about it in the anime encyclopedia, it was like, this is one of the shows that you have to not have to watch, but it's sort of like a classic, cult classic. So when I watched it, I grabbed, so I found a VHS tape of it when VHS tapes were being sold for like $2.
Oh shit!
Like
that's
$1.
A cool ass VHS.
No, because it's like CDs. You know, you can just buy CDs now for super cheap.
Sure.
So when I got it. I was like 13 or 14, and this is how I thought otakus were supposed to act.
Oh,
so
cute.
I took it verbatim, and I started a club, and you know, like was really into just. You know, I think I read somewhere along the lines of you're not like a real otaku unless you can identify all of the characters and posters in the anime. Oh my God. And I was like, God damn! I don't know nobody cosplaying.
You're like, I'm not otaku then.
I was actually kind of thinking about that as we were watching it this time around. I jotted down all the references, or rather, let me rephrase that. I looked on Wikipedia to find a concrete list of all the anime referenced in this, and I thought at some point I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of these.
Yeah.
There's
Is that what, like, in college, I remember you making a short film about it, about, like, I don't know if it was like for a class, like about anime watchers or otaku people, but I remember you interviewing people about what their first anime was.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, it was, you know, like, literally, I was the only one who saw Naruto first. Like, what the heck is that? How am I the minority in this anime group?
I'm at the times, man.
Yeah. Everyone was like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, and I'm like, oh, like Naruto.
Yeah, it was for some like 101 film class. Do like documentary style interviews.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I totally forgot about
cool.
that. Thanks.
I remember that very vividly.
That. Should I find that video and
yes, please?
Yes. That's our Patreon. It's our Patreon content.
That's our OnlyFans content. Yes, I want to see that. I want to see little baby me being like, "Hey, watch Naruto first."
So let's go through the plot of Otaku no Video.
Is there a plot?
Yes.
There's a little tiny plot there.
Our main guy, what's his name?
Kubo.
Kubo is a college student. He's playing tennis. He's the only one that takes the tennis team seriously. He's got a girlfriend that's hot. He's a normal ass guy. And he kind of randomly crosses paths at a couple encounters with Tanaka,
yeah.
With Tanaka being a kind of shorter, stouter otaku, full-on otaku, cosplaying as Char, and has a circle. They're making doujinshi. He's all up in. He's got
shit. A girl that cosplays as Lum.
Yeah, he's all up on it, and he kind of sells Kubo on the merits of this. Kubo, you know, being kind of like a fit, handsome guy, you know, doing well in school. And Kubo's like, oh, this seems kind of interesting. I guess I'll see what's up with Tanaka, and you know, and he is introduced to their circle and just, I guess, devolves is kind of a rude way of putting it, but his otaku spirit awakens, and he gets equally head over heels into this shit. He starts putting on weight. He quits the tennis team so he can focus all his time on, you know, lining up for movies and buying limited merchandise. He kind of alienates his girlfriend, and he decides with Tanaka that by the time his girlfriend dumps him, he's kind of like, you know, I will no longer feel shame about being an otaku. I will show that otaku can rise to respectability. I will become the king of otaku and find a successful way of living as an otaku. And so him and Tanaka start a business together. They start business making model kits.
What kind of kits?
Garage kits.
Yeah. I would love to know if any of our listeners know anything about garage kits, because I think still to this day, people have no idea about garage kits, which I think is baffling, because they are some of the funnest things that you can do, like, as an otaku. But we can get into that a little bit later, because I fucking love garage kits.
Yeah. So their garage kit company has a meteoric rise to success. Mm-hmm. They buck all trends up and down and manage to become a totally reasonable big ass corporation with all of their original circle holding leadership positions within the company. Mm-hmm. They're doing quite well for themselves, and Kubo has vision about what the future of the company should be like. But suddenly he gets ousted, and another more normal, more normie, more square, motherfucking square businessman comes. And
Sony Entertainment,
basically.
Do they say it's Sony Entertainment?
No, but this is
metaphor. Okay.
Sony right
it's
now is
Sony
the big bad, so we're equating it back to Sony.
Okay. So Sony Entertainment comes and does a little bit of a hostile takeover, leaves Kubo out on the streets, winds up leaving Tanaka out on the streets. So they've lost control of their company and are kind of without direction and without purpose. But then they hatch another scheme. They say, well, we did it once, we can do it again. This time we're going to do it even better, because rather than making garage kits, we're going to make anime. And they, well, I guess first they start making their own merchandise. They like come up with their own anime character and make merchandise for her. Their own little magical girl character. They make merchandise for, and that's the idea, that they make anime in support of this magical girl character, and they're striving to become a all-in-one integrated company, that like they're going to make their own original intellectual properties. They'll make the anime, handle all the merchandising, just handle everything in-house and rake in the profits, rather than having any licensing or farming anything out. And so they figure, we had success with garage kits rather than big models. We're going to do the same logic with anime. Rather than making TV broadcast anime, we'll make OVAs, and sell them. We sell them in the same way. And then they rise to success doing that. They make OVAs as the garage kits of anime, and they just keep on their meteoric rise to giant company. And by the end of the film, they are, creating Otaku land, and clearly they're dominating the anime industry, and they've achieved all of their goals and successes.
Every otaku's dream is to open an anime Disneyland. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I'd be into that. I went to One Piece Land. I thought that was cool. One Piece Tower, One Piece Land, whatever it is. Yeah. It's small. It's not really like a theme park, and so far as it's just like 2 stories of a building, but it's fucking cool, man. It's so cool.
So I was saying before, this is loosely based on Gainax's formation, and I think we could say that this is Daikon 4 and Daikon 5. This is like their example of them making that short. Toshi Okada and whoever else is with him, and selling it for a profit.
Where did garage kits play into that? The forming of Gainax? I'd love to know.
Well, so, and that's what I'm curious about. And
did you guys know about garage kits before watching Otaku No Video?
I didn't know they were called garage kits.
Just know about model kits, because model kits and garage kits are totally different things.
Oh, tell us more, Amelia.
Okay, let me tell you more. So model kits are like the things that you put together normally, like the Gundam, Gunpla stuff. They're like kits that are like specifically put together for that are like made out of specific plastic and whatever.
Right.
But these ones, but garage kits were originally made by people who loved the anime series and would make like literally sculpt and make like molds for specific anime characters, and they would sell these kits out of their garage, literally, or like their apartment or wherever they were making these things. And you could only get them if you knew the specific person that was like making the kit.
Right. Cool.
And so it started off as like a one-man business. Like this person really enjoyed the series, sculpted a model of one of the characters, molded it, and would sell molds of the kit and sell them off. And it evolved into a lot of people being able to reproduce these things. And it's funny that they went to China to make a factory for their garage kits in the series, because China is the place where most people that make garage kits that make it big, they usually go to China's factories because it's easy to produce, it's cheaper to produce. But what's funny about that is that the factories that produce these garage kits or these model kits of anime figures, like of anime, like actual anime characters, steal the molds and make bootleg versions and sell them on their websites as bootleg, like as real model kits, which they aren't, you know. So I got really into garage kits a couple, probably like 5 years ago now. I don't think I've ever completed one garage kit, but the one anime that or manga or whatever that made me want to get a kit and make a figure of was Arrow Manga Sensei, which is like really funny, I guess. Yeah, because I had seen a model kit online of this character who had a really cute like pajama set, and she had a Wacom tablet and a digital drawing pen. And I saw this like model kit for her, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's like such a cute character. Like I don't even like know anything about this character. Let me find out about this character. And I realized she was from a manga, so I read some of the manga that was out at the time, and I really loved that she was like a hentai artist, and she stayed in her room because she was like a hikikomori, so she never left her room ever at all, and she just like drew lewd girls all the time. And I was like, oh my god, that's like what I strive to be. So I read a little bit of the manga, but I also at the same time bought a garage kit of one of her figures that I wanted to purchase, but it was like super expensive because it was like a Good Smile figure. That, you know, Good Smile like scale figures can run anywhere between like $100 and $300, and this one particularly was like upwards in like the $200 range at the time. And I was like, oh, but I can get this model kit and I can build her. And so I started researching everything about garage kits, and what garage kits are like really cool for is that like you can literally paint whatever you want on this character. Like, yes, she has like a normal outfit that you're used to seeing in the manga or anime, but you can paint her or like model her to be like whatever you want her to like be or wear, you know? So it was like kind of like revolutionary to me when I was discovering them, because I was like, oh, like I really love Lum, but like what if I put her in like this like really cool pastel outfit instead of like her normal outfit? Like I had the power to do that because that was what I was choosing to do with the figure, you know. And so it kind of gives you this like creative control over an intellectual property that's like not yours, that you can kind of like make your own. And I really felt that through Otaku no Video. These people who were making these garage kits, like, and were devoting most of their life to recreating these characters in whatever way they wanted to. Like a lot of people would create their garage kits from scratch. They would buy different kits from different people and kind of like mesh them together to make whatever kind of character they were looking for. You know, then that's the kind of thing that you can do with garage kits. And I kind of like think it's crazy that it still isn't a mainstream thing. Like Gunpla is absolutely a mainstream thing. There are so many model kits that you can get for like not only Gundam, but like One Piece. I've seen One Piece like model kits, and like you can kind of like get a model. Like I have like a model kit for Darling in the Franxx, one of the Strelitzia models. So you can get model kits for these things, but you still can't get garage kits like on a mass market.
Well, I guess because these kits are mass produced, right?
Yeah.
I mean that, but I guess it's like, makes me think of
like clearly the fandom loves to put together things of things that are represented in these animes, but like garage kits are still not things that are like mass produced, like that you can readily get a hold of.
Yeah, because you spend the time making them. I don't think people, oh, speaking generalized here, but like the average person probably doesn't want to sit down and like prime the figure and paint it, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even though Gunpla is popular, it's a very specific niche market. Like it's you know what I mean?
I think of like Warhammer 40,000 too. Game workshop type stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there certainly is a specific targeted audience or like fandom for making little figures, painting little figures. But I think it's different than just collectors, And I agree that like just the collector types don't necessarily want to put in the painstaking work to make the models to that certain degree. They just want to collect stuff. They don't necessarily want to make stuff.
Yeah, and this is the first episode, right? This interview with the model kit builder.
Oh, this is the second one.
This is the second one. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there is one interview with
a porn watching Hideaki Anno.
Yeah, him looking at a video game, Eroge game. I believe that's him.
Oh my god, that
the only one where
amazing.
It's the only one where there's not a funny filter over the voice. So it's suspected that's who that is.
I mean, all of them are fake anyway, so
yeah. No.
There's no way the artistic genius Hideaki Anno would stoop so low as to play an Arrow game. Never.
I like the interview where the dude is at his office. He's just like some tech dude, and they're interviewing him. And he's like, "You ever cosplay before?" He's like, no, never. And then eventually he does a 180, and he's like, yeah, I might have this Gundam Shah Aznable helmet. And he like takes it out and puts it on for the camera.
He's like, I might have cosplayed before, but that doesn't mean I'm weird or anything. Okay. It's not, I'm still cool. I'm still like a human. Okay.
But that's how it made me feel when I was a teenager. I was like, I guess I gotta hide my hobby here because no one's gonna understand it. I can't talk about my cosplay. Like it's just a weird mentality.
I guess I came into Otakudom at like early adulthood, so I didn't have any of those like stigmas around it because I kind of, I guess, discovered it pretty like singularly. Like I just discovered Naruto and then went head first, and like I didn't really think about I didn't think about it as something that would be looked down upon. I just thought it was like cool. And then I went to college and other people liked it, and I was like, oh, that's like cool. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is 30 years ago.
It's true.
Different country.
Yeah.
Too.
In my life, the only people that have ever given me any grief for being into anime are people from the DIY punk scene who in my opinion, are like arguably way more nerdy and degenerate than the vast majority of people I've ever met in the anime. But I just find it like the irony just never ceased amazing me. Yeah, these guys that like hyper studded spiked leather jackets and the boots and charged hair they had to spend 30 minutes with the soap to get right. Like, oh dude, you're into anime? That's some like real lame, that's some real nerdy dumb
really
shit,
people
like,
have said that to you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think
dude, you just spent 30 minutes getting your hair charged with soap, man. Like, you don't think that's equally nerdy and weird? Like,
in that way,
no
I feel privileged, guys. I feel privileged over here. I've always been loud and proud about my otaku-ness, and people just learn to accept me. I don't know. I've never been told I was weird.
Trying
to think back. I don't think I've ever been told I was weird for liking anime.
Yeah, I think the stigma has changed quite a bit. But maybe they so I have this book here that I've been looking at. It's called Little Boy, The Arts of Japanese Exploding Subculture by Takashi Murakami.
Oh, Murakami, that boy over there.
He's a big art dude in Japan.
I really like him.
Well, he's the guy that does everything with Kanye West.
With who?
What did you say?
With Kanye West, he's that guy.
Oh, yes, I believe so.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, pretty sure.
It's the Super Flat. He's known for Super Flat. So yeah, I think he worked with him.
Yeah. Super flat. That's the term. It is.
Super that's what flat. They call it.
Amelia, do you actually know this, or are you just repeating?
No, that's true. I am agreeing.
Okay.
What is it called? Concurring. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew all of this.
Okay.
So he did some interviews with
He's
Toshio
one of my favorite
Okada.
artists. Okay, so calm down.
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting you. Just the way that you were saying it could be interpreted either way. I wasn't sure if you were joking or not.
She's had a few drinks.
A little bit.
So they do these. He has his book out. He does these essay interviews with Toshio Okada, one of the founders of Gainax, right? But he's giving this like. He's considered the Oda King, right? And he's kind of like Kubo in this show.
Yeah.
Right. But there's some like really funny interview quotes that I wanted to talk about that are just like, this is how you see yourself. Like this is your interpretation of fandom in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they start off. He says basically, they want to the person Takashi Murakami wants to interview these people, and he starts it off by saying like, what's your definition of otaku, right? So Okada says, I quit otaku studies because I thought there was no longer any otaku to speak of, like there's some kind of race. And then it says back then during the 1980s and early 1990s there were 100,000 or even 1 million people who were pure otaku, 100 proof otaku, if you will. Now we have close
100 proof.
Yeah, 100 proof. Now we have close to 10 million otaku, but they are no more than 10 or 20 proof otaku.
Damn, we calling you out.
Of course, some otaku are still very otaku, perhaps 80 or 90 proof. Still, we can't call the rest of them faux otaku. The otaku mentality and otaku taste are so widespread and diverse today that otaku no longer form what you might call a tribe. And I was like, damn.
I want to say, bitch, look at our tribe. Look at our tribe of 3. You know what I mean here, guys? Look at our little tribe.
I understand and appreciate what he says. But yeah, I mean,
I would like to interject here with what he means by 100% otaku, because if that means that I have to live in squalor in a tiny ass apartment in Japan and eat cup ramen for every meal because of my otaku-ness, I do not subscribe to that. Okay. Yeah. I like where I live and I like the things that I have, and I like eating at fancy restaurants on the weekends.
No, I think this is a broader commentary that he is displeased with the rise of anime and nerd culture at large. I think he would look at today's anime cultural landscape and say that most people into anime are just casually into it, but I don't want to deal with casuals. I want to deal with the diehard dedicated fans, of which there are no longer as many as there used to be.
I mean, like, I feel that.
Otaku
culture has become pretty mainstream compared to the olden days.
The olden days.
Yeah, I don't think he's wrong. I just disagree that this is a judgmentally bad situation. It is what it is.
Yeah, the other dude, Kaichiro Morikawa, the other person they're interviewing, he uses the word dame, which means no good or hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like, he seems to seem that like that's like the overarching feeling of what otaku were or are, like hopeless, and not necessarily in a negative way, but like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. There's that element to it.
Yeah, I guess in Japanese culture, there's this like stigma of like growing up and becoming a person that can provide for a family, and like otaku is completely opposite of that, you know. So there's this like stigma against being an otaku because you're going against the grain of society, in which like Japan is a very like go like, what, I don't know how to say it, but basically like you do what everyone says you're supposed to do kind of society.
The status, like the status quo, and
you live
otakuism
up to the social expectations that are set by the society, whereas like we're over here in the US being like, I don't care about your social society. I'm gonna do what I want.
Rock and roll.
I'm gonna watch anime all day if I want to.
Yeah, the American
family.
Sense of
fuck that.
It's the American sense of individualism versus Japanese sense of communalism.
So it's like the big thesis for this episode was like, how do we compare otaku culture or whatever from the 80s, 90s to now? And I'm like, well, can we even do that? Because culturally, we are two different places.
Well, yeah. But I think the biggest point of comparison is that as the barriers of accessibility have decreased, the amount of casual interest has increased. Because it is now possible to stream anime on all major streaming platforms. Anyone can access anime at any time through any number of different means. It gets bigger distribution than ever before. That has increased, not necessarily the level of hardcore interest, which may or may not have increased. Like I don't really know, but it has certainly increased the level of casual interest, right? That like this is no longer something where like only the diehards are into this kind of stuff. Now it's like everybody and their mother has at least some minimal exposure to anime. We've seen that through our panel too, that like even random ass people in the gym, off the street, they know who Goku is, they know who Sailor Moon is.
My mother knows who Chihiro is, just saying.
Yeah, go back, and this is 2021. You go back to 1991, ain't nobody know who Goku is.
That's true. I feel like accessibility to the market is definitely what has propelled our fandom to the heights that it is at this point, because if you think about it, even just when I started watching anime, the only way that I could watch anime was if it was being fan subbed and I knew how to torrent it. I'm sure like you guys have a different experience because you got into anime a little bit later or a little bit earlier than I did. You guys were probably watching VHS and like going to Blockbuster and picking up VHSs and stuff, or hanging out in circles where there might have been like fan subbing and you might have gotten the fan subbed VHS copy. But like just the fact that I can log on to one website and have a plethora of anime at my disposal for a certain amount of money, like that's crazy. I never would have thought that, sitting in my ex-boyfriend's house, like torrenting anime off of their internet because it was faster. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, accessibility, I feel like is everything here.
And I think our guys, from Studio Gynax would actually say that this is a bad thing, that they want, judging from the quotes that Geoff has read us, they seem like, when they say that Gynax is by otaku for otaku, they mean we don't want no fucking casuals in this room. Like all posers leave the hall. We want like only the diehard freaks and geeks, we're making this for you because we are also diehard freaks and geeks. We can't fit into society, and we're making anime for people that also can't fit into society.
I feel like that's a little bit.
I can appreciate that. But...
Oh, okay. I was feeling like maybe that was a little bit of there's a term for that now.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, there's a little bit of gatekeeping over there.
Yeah. Totally. I think so.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily object to gatekeeping as a practice, or like and I say that in the sense as Amelia's pointed out, that now there's a lot of discussion about cultural gatekeeping, and that this is a inherently bad thing. I don't actually think this is an inherently bad thing.
I just
think it is. Yeah, I think it's like.
Well, I feel like now it's part of the culture. Now we have these people that might not have seen 400 plus anime. They might just be coming into anime right now in their point in life. It's not like I'm gonna shame them for it, but if I ask you like if you've watched a certain thing and you haven't discovered that certain thing on your journey in anime yet, I'm gonna be like, okay, I know where you're coming from. Maybe you haven't watched as much anime as me. Like I'm gonna know how to tailor the conversation to like your interests as a casual watcher.
Well, I agree. Now, I don't think of myself as being some great gatekeeper, and I don't think that I am judgmental towards anybody about whatever their level of exposure to anything might be. But when I think of gatekeeping that I've seen in my life, the gatekeeping that I've really seen in my life has always been from punk, right? And like tape trading, rare recordings, and I kind of understand the idea, I understand why exclusivity would be a good thing, that like, but that style of exclusivity has its pluses and minuses, right? Like the pluses are that it keeps things special and keeps things pure, and I also I do think that has merit and that has meaning and value to it, and that's not a bad thing to strive for. But the minus side of that, as you say, is like, okay, then like there's a pretty hard wall. There's a pretty hard ceiling to just how popular this is ever going to be, to just how meaningful it's ever going to be. Like if you never let anybody hear, this rare recording, then like, people will not draw influence from it. It'll just be a tree that falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it. Like it'll never mean anything in a broader scale. But for some people, it's not about, meaning anything in a broader scale. They have a different sense of what meaning means to them. So I don't think any of this stuff is bad or anything. There are bands on my label, for example, that would say like we only want to play specific kinds of shows to specific kinds of audiences. Like we would not play just any show all willy-nilly. We would only play like this kind of show to these specific individuals or this kind of crowd, because this is the crowd that really understands what we're doing and appreciates us. And so all these other casual people or random people, we're just going to be this like weird novelty act that and they're going to like treat us like we're not serious when we are, and they're not going to get it. So like we don't really want to perform for them because they're not going to understand our art. And I understand where they're coming from, and I appreciate their reasoning and that value system. But also that means that like, there are people that would hear this, go to their show at random and be exposed to them for the first time and think, wow, this is really amazing. They're cutting off a whole pathway, a whole avenue of exposure for people to get into this kind of stuff, for the tribe to increase, for the tribe to have continuity. It's all of these things have goods and bads, and people can make up their own minds about what they think is the best way to treat their art or their passions or whatever.
Yeah. Quote from the movie, from the series: "Not all otaku are honorable." That is the takeaway for me.
Oh man, yeah, that fucking guy who would steal cells, the cell stealer. Fuck that guy. He was like, and you know what? These companies, they just let me in. They don't know who I am. I can just pretend to be anybody I want.
Yeah,
I just steal cells. I'm like, bitch, those people work so hard on those GD cells.
Mm-hmm. Think about that in the context of Shirobako. If we think of Shirobako as a reasonable approximation of what the anime industry is like behind the curtains, like you think if some random motherfucker just walks into Shirabako's office and is like, "Hey, could I get the cells to, cut number 79?" Somebody would be like, "Yeah, okay, sure," and just hand them over, and then they walk out. Like I could see that happening in Shirobako, don't you think?
That's crazy to me.
Like the Mohawk guy that doesn't really pay attention to shit and is like a slacker. You think he's really asking that many questions about who the delivery guy is?
No, because he's a dum dum.
Is supposed to go to? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he's a little ding dong.
Yeah.
Another. I feel like Golden Boy had a pretty good example of how that
Golden Boy
studio system worked and delivering cells. But what do you steal now? Do you can you break into someone's computer and steal their drawings?
I don't think you could do it anymore.
Yeah.
Hack their cells.
Well, people there's leaks of manga ahead of time, right?
Is there?
I think so.
It's like the Edward Snowden of mangas.
That's the thing. I feel like I have seen like bootleg leaked versions of One Piece chapters, and I kind of feel like you could just wait. One Piece ain't going anywhere. That chapter's coming. Like, you really got to see this shit 48 hours in advance. What fucking difference does it make? Like, are you gonna be like, this dude's dying, like this major character is dying, and then the next 48 hours I have to buy every piece of their merchandise so I can flip it, like there's One Piece, man. Like, what does it matter if you see the
I guess, Dan, that's what separates us from the casuals, okay? We are casuals still, and this guy who needs his One Piece 48 hours beforehand is a hardcore otaku. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so, man. And I say I'm but a weary casual here.
Do we have any other people that we are like? Okay, so there's like the airsoft otaku. Like, do we know anyone that's like that?
Oh,
can be categorized as an anime otaku, but also is like really into airsoft rifles.
I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone into airsoft.
Yeah, I always thought that one was really, really random and weird. The like gun otaku orientation of otaku no video.
Yeah.
But I mean, these people, I also do not have anybody that's into that kind of stuff in my personal life. But yeah, paintball's huge.
Paintball's big.
Yeah. That's what it is. Like people that are way into paintball and shit. That's what it is. Like there's plenty of people that are into that kind of stuff.
Military shooters. Like yeah. There's a guy at work who owns a bunch of actual like physical rifles. And guns, and he also likes COD. So,
I think
there you go.
I think this is more difficult to contextualize for us because in America guns are so widespread and it's not weird to be into guns.
That's
like presumably half the population, I'm thinking of Republican voters, but presumably half the population is really into fucking guns. You know what I mean? Like guns are a constant of our daily lives in America. Not that way in Japan. Ain't nobody ever interacting with guns over there. So to really be into guns, you would have to be, dedicated to the craft. You couldn't just like go to the gun store and buy a gun.
That kind of makes me feel weird about all the military otakus in Japanese television then, because like, they've never seen a gun. They've never seen these guns that they're talking about that they love so much that they know every kind of like what like.
So I'll tell you, I took a Japanese. I took a Japanese band to a shooting range, and one of them was so scared they wouldn't even touch the gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like,
oh, you could take me to a gun range any day, Dan. Okay, just letting you know that, just in case for the future.
We took him to go shooting,
activity.
And the girl on base was like, I won't even touch it. It's terrifying. I've never seen a gun before, and this is the scariest thing I've ever seen, basically.
I mean, I feel like I would also be the same way, but also I'd want to shoot it to know
what
it felt like.
I mean, I get it, because if you have never been exposed to guns before, I mean, think about the idea that like there are now things in this room specifically meant to kill you.
Yeah.
With no other purpose but to kill you.
Yeah.
And now I'm surrounded by it at any given moment. I could be fucking shot dead, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I understand how that can be scary if you're not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in America, we just think that there's a social contract, like, oh, of course, in this room full of guns, nobody's actually going to shoot somebody else. But, you know, especially if you're a foreigner and you watch American news, you may not really believe in that social contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some other weird interviews? What are, like, besides the garage kit, the dude who had the glasses, who was jerking off?
Was he?
It was not really good. Yeah, I think it was.
I thought that was Hideaki Anno, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was playing his little arrow gaze.
No, the one with this guy has these glasses that depixelate. They changed the pixelation on porn. Yeah,
I just thought that was an editing decision. You know what I mean?
I was getting confused.
I'm like, clearly these people don't care about their identity. The editor of this video is very bad at what they're doing.
I thought it was the guy watching porn with the goggles on that was Hideaki Anno.
I could have it backwards.
Well, there was the guy that was playing arrow gaze, who was his
there's a separate guy that's playing arrow gaze.
I thought that was Anno.
Okay, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, the guy watching porn is a weird one, and the Otaku no Video really dwells on the idea that all otaku are virgins.
I know, like, bitch.
They're all male as well.
Excuse you.
But yeah, and like
neither male or a virgin over here. So get fucked. You Otaku no Video.
And like I mean, they, you know, what was the name of the not Kubo main character? Odawa? Tanaka had an attractive young woman in his circle, you know, like nobody wanted to date her or anything. Yeah, come on.
I feel like you're speaking for all otaku girls over there, Dan. Come on, baby.
I still find the character designs for this show to be really attractive, and this is a Kenichi Sonata character designer, the designer for these. He did Gunsmith Cats.
Oh,
I mean, come on.
I mean, like, the girls are cute. I mean, Kudo's cute.
Yeah, her lum as a teenager, that was very,
I'm sorry.
Very arousing.
She was
very aroused,
but with glasses. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, ultra cute. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is why I wanted to include her during our iconic characters list.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you see where I'm coming from now?
Yeah, I mean, I saw where you're coming from with Lum in general. But
next time. So closing thoughts on this piece of historical data, I
implore everyone to go research garage kits and purchase your favorite anime waifu and make her into something that is tailored specifically to you, because I know I do.
Yeah, I enjoy Otaku no Video, and I think if you're an anime fan, then it's worth launching.
Also, if you all want to know anything about garage kits, hit me up on the Discord because I would be happy to tell you.
Yeah, I meant to say artifact, but you know what I meant. It's no longer an artifact because you can just watch it on Verve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That makes me upset. I'm still doing a watch party, but okay.
I watched it on Plex.
Damn, coming out of the gate with all these randos.
Plex is the shit, man. Plex is
the only place I could find to stream it. To be honest, I couldn't even find it on gogoanime.pe.
Damn, not even on gogoanime.pe.
Yeah, I was shocked they only had episode 1. I was like, "Where's the other one? What the fuck? What good is this to me?"
It's on Verve. Do you need my Verve? I can send the Verve to the group.
No, I watched it on Plex. I'm good.
Damn. Okay, fine. You don't get my Verve then. Yeah. You don't get my Verve then.
But
no.
Yeah, I've contributed I sent my login info for High Dive. So
and you don't get my Verve then because you just said it. You don't want it. You're good. You said you're good.
Well, I was.
I'm offended.
Geoff has been so gracious as to let me have his HBO account. So now I have paid it forward by giving us all my High Dive account.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans so that we can all pay for one subscription.
Yeah. This is why we need. This is why we need our
commercials.
This is the true meaning of circle in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah. All circles are online now. There's no such thing as a physical circle. You have Discord and
the circle is that's the guy that pays for High Dive. That's the guy that pays for Crunchyroll. That's the guy that pays for Netflix. That's the girl that plays for Hulu.
Yeah. You meet one year, you meet one day or one week a year at a convention.
One con a year.
That's your physical interaction for the year.
Amazing. Let's close that shit out.
Yes, go watch this damn anime.
And if you join our Discord, which is in the description of whatever you're listening to this on, you can too watch whatever we are about to talk about because I will be live streaming them for you.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or I can I'm making copies of this to send out. Send some money.
Yes.
To my address.
Physical copies that you will receive on VHS. So I hope you go to the VHS player.
Getting some OVA action up here. So we're gonna stream all 50 episodes of Kaiji.
Yes, I will make that bold claim right now. If Dan will show up, I will watch 50 episodes of Kaiji with him.
Fuck yeah. We're doing this shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
we gonna start next week, y'all.
Is there a way to just continuously run all the episodes?
I wish. I would love that.
24/7 for like 2 weeks.
I think even Verve taps out at like 6 episodes.
Just ideas.
All right, guys. Well, we will catch you in our next episode. That is Kaiji versus Squid Game.
Nice.
Yeah, we might need more than a couple weeks to prepare for this.
We're excited. Nice. I hope not, because we got to hop on this bandwagon before Squid Game's old news.
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
It's fresh for me. I just finished Squid Game within the last couple of days.
I
got a lot to say.
It's still fresh with me.
It's still fresh,
baby.
I got Kaiji on Blu-ray. I just got that not too long ago.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm
gonna go watch that. Start that this week.
We about to go hard on some Kaiji. Okay, we got 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Dream come true. Dream come true.
Oh my god.
Match made in heaven.
Okay,
I've been waiting for it. This is my moment.
This is his moment, everyone. This is his moment.
All right. Deuces.
We will catch you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye. Otsukare.
Adios, amigos. Oh. I think the longer we recorded, the more the more tired I feel, and I'm just starting to feel like really. This is how I need to record more often.
Hell yeah, bitch!
It's like 6 hours of sleep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
3 beers and a shot. Fuck
I didn't
yeah.
say that.
Oh, that's how I was recording. We hope you enjoyed that episode of the Otaku Host Club podcast. If you want to be a part of the conversation or participate during episodes, hop on into our Discord server. The invite link should be in the show notes of wherever you're listening to this on. Or you can head on over to our website, otakuhostclub.com, where you'll find links to previous episodes, as well as our Instagram at Otaku Host Club, and our YouTube channel, where we put out video versions of episodes after they hit Spotify. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.